Welcome to the Semi-Woke Podcast. We're doing it. We're in here. Welcome. My name's Pranav.
I'm Sheria.
And this is a podcast where Sheria teaches me, Pranav, one woke concept a week in an effort to turn me gay.
No. It's not enough for you to become gay.
Okay.
That's not enough.
And now I'm prepared a little bit because
That's
this is now like a new segment almost.
Yes.
So just how gay can you make me?
That's right.
Okay, go.
You have to become you have to become Sasha Colby's taint every time she does a split. That is what, that's every
Hey, you said she. I ain't mad at that.
And
as a straight guy.
And she's hot as fuck as well.
Dude.
She's hot as fuck. You're
yeah.
right. But
Let
also,
me be there.
The main reason I said that is because congratulations, Sasha Colby. I'm so proud of you.
I don't know who you are, but you're hot and I live on your perineum now.
That's right. Sorry about that. If you hear complaining, it's Pranav.
Yeah.
If you're like, why is it so much hairier back there?
There's no complaining. What are you talking about? For me, that's like living between my two favorite places.
Fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough.
It's like I feel like I'm living in California right now.
She's hot and she's brilliant. And she's so,
what does she do?
So she just won this last season of Drag Race. She's also been known in circles as like the top drag queen. She won Miss Continental. She's like a top pageant queen and a top performer. And maybe not tea, maybe just like my speculation is that this last season was rigged for her. It didn't need to be, but it was.
Okay.
Because
wait, now are they trans?
She's trans.
She's
okay.
trans.
So Drag Race used to have a rule
Mhm.
that there couldn't be any trans women on. Like if you had begun your physical
Canceled.
transition, so she couldn't be on Drag Race for a while because she had already started transitioning.
Okay.
And then I think obviously they reversed that rule. Thank God, because we've had some of the best. We've literally had nothing but trans winners of Drag Race for the last 4.
I mean, they're the ones who are really committing to it.
No.
You know what I mean?
Nope. Nope.
I mean, that's the commitment.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
You know?
That's not the
They're
take.
snipping.
Nope.
And,
Nope. That's not the take.
okay. Hey, all right. Guys, this is a podcast about straight erasure.
That's right.
Okay. And evidence number one, Sheria would not let me wear my focus ball headband on the pod, which I'm going to put it on just now anyway as an act of protest.
It's the worst thing.
Listen, it's good for my hand-eye coordination. Look, do you want to maybe I practice it for teabagging? Does that make you feel better?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, just
It's so bad.
Oh.
It's so bad. The thing is, Pranav will we'll be having a serious conversation,
Yeah.
and Pranav will pull this stupid thing out and start batting at it like a cat, and it's the saddest shit I've ever seen.
When you do put it like that, it is stupid.
It's so
okay?
stupid. And then he's expecting me to continue having a conversation with him as though he's an adult while he's crawling on the floor, chasing a ball. It's just, no, we're not doing that. That's not the team.
I'm keeping it here on the table as an act of protest, though,
Mm.
so people can see because there does need to be straight visibility.
Mm.
Thank
you. Anyway, this is the first first queer straight collaboration since J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI sniper that killed Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay. Okay, hold on.
I
tried to bring up J. Edgar Hoover before as that, and you tried to you soft canceled me for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? When did I cancel you?
A few episodes ago.
No, I don't
tried
believe
to bring up
this.
J. Edgar Hoover.
You
You're
think
like, no.
And I was like,
No, we don't claim him.
yeah, that's okay. It's true.
Okay.
That's fair. That does sound like me. We don't claim him, but it's like we don't claim him. It's like Milo Yiannopoulos or whatever. He's not part of the queer community, but he sucks dick.
Well, last time we were talking, you made a very interesting distinction for me, which was you're like, he's not queer, he's gay.
Yes.
And that's becoming it's becoming a slur again. I'm like, now in this light, if it's okay, if gay men are canceled by the queer community, does it make it safe for straight dudes to just be like, that shit's gay?
No.
Can we start doing that again?
No. Unless
it took a lot of deprogramming for me to stop saying that.
Yes, exactly.
As a straight dude.
Hillary Duff had to come out and do a commercial about it.
Did she really?
You don't remember this?
I don't remember that.
Do you remember this, Connor? You don't remember? Okay, I see. Sometimes y'all try to make me feel crazy. Hillary Duff had a PSA where there were like girls in a shopping mall like trying on clothes and like that's gay. And Hillary Duff comes out and she's like, "Hey, I'm Lizzie McGuire, and I don't think that's fucking right to say."
Wait, there were girls who were saying that's gay? That doesn't even make sense. That's not even the scenario.
Okay, I hung out with girls and we said that's gay all the time. Usually we were saying
Really?
it. Yeah. Yeah. When we were like middle school and stuff, and that's gay. He's gay.
That is how you say it as a
That's
straight
gay.
person, actually.
Oh, no.
That is the
Gay.
correct straight pronunciation.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Have you been doing straight Duolingo?
I
Like,
have.
what's going on?
I want to understand you. I finally want to understand.
That's gay. Fucking gay.
Wait, where's the? I'm gonna find it, but it's
That is
a
hilarious.
classic. It's a classic. Hillary Duff PSA.
That's because she is like the icon of straight female femininity.
She was. Oh my god. Well, okay. I was just watching the Aaron Carter documentary episode, and you forget how important these people were in your lives.
Dude,
like when Aaron Carter was on Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was fucking.
I didn't because I didn't watch that show straight.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But I can imagine.
You remember all the girls talking about it the next day.
No, but yes. Okay. Also, I mean, you know.
Do you remember Connor when Lizzie McGuire when Aaron Carter was on Lizzie McGuire? He was probably born when Aaron Carter was on. I kind of do remember. You remember?
Connor's lying right now. Connor, are you lying right now?
No, I remember the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yes, we all remember Lizzie McGuire. Yes, that wasn't the question.
But do you remember?
The question was, do you remember
the
when
episode?
Aaron Carter? Did
Yes.
you lose your mind when Aaron Carter was on Lizzie
Do you
McGuire?
remember?
That's a no.
But did he sing "I Want Candy"?
Yes, he sure fucking did.
Yeah, I remember.
He sure fucking did. In
Did
that
he
little
what?
silver suit. He sang "I Want Candy" in that little silver suit with the fake snow.
Okay, Connor.
Connor's
Nice.
what's up? Connor's a real nigga. No.
Okay. Connor, you can take that to the bank,
you
buddy.
can say that. You can tell,
Right?
and then explain it that
Put
you
that in your
remember.
Instagram bio. All right, Connor Kawichan, real N-word.
Yes.
We did.
Definitely. What was
Well, it's just for me when the going gets rough for me as a straight male. I can then always offload it onto you as a straight white male.
That's right.
You
Oh my
know?
God! Thank God you're here to pick up all the guilt. Every time you do something problematic, I'll hit Connor.
Okay. Okay.
That works.
Connor, that works, right? That works for you. Listen. Oh, I think you should put on the focus ball headband.
Absolutely not. I'm not
Okay.
going to make him do that. That's against the Geneva Conventions. I'm not gonna do, that's humiliating. What? Oh wait, we're going to introduce a new segment. Actually,
Let's go.
We feel like because we're semi woke,
Yeah.
and at least one of the things that the woke mob tries to do is cancel something
Yeah.
every fucking day.
Yeah.
So we're going to cancel something every week.
Let's go.
So
Start us off.
I'm canceling fucking New York City. I'm canceling
Oh.
New York City. I'm
Okay.
canceling New York City, particularly traffic and public transportation.
Infrastructure. You're going for
infrastructure.
something big. You're
I
going
actually am. You know what? That's too serious.
This is a conceptual
right.
cancellation.
We could talk about Robert Moses and stuff like that. So
Robert-
it's too
yes,
serious.
exactly.
You know what? I'm canceling moisture on the inner part of your eye. That's what I'm gonna cancel.
Interesting.
It always fucks up my eye makeup. You hear me complain about it all the time, and
Yeah.
you never notice.
So wait,
because-
are you canceling tears? Is that what I'm gathering?
not
here?
necessarily tears, because tears will come out of this side a
Yeah.
little bit. But the moisture on the inner part of your eye, it doesn't matter unless somebody knows. I've never used a primer that consistently took care of that problem. If a little moisture came on the inside of my eye, boom, my eye makeup's fucked right around that corner, right?
Okay.
So I propose canceling that particular piece of moisture,
Okay.
unless I can find a decent primer.
Well, I'm canceling skincare in general. I don't think it's real. I think it's a scam at this point.
Wow.
For a few years I did skincare. I good skincare, Biossance,
Oh.
Squalane,
Okay. You
Okay.
was using the roach pussy?
the retinol at night with the snail cream after.
I use the retinol. and
Yeah,
it's
my niece put me
amazing.
onto this.
The retinol works.
She's a skincare queen.
That's right.
The retinol with that. And then my girlfriend was like, no, use this all natural organic version of retinol. And then use this coconut facial moisturizer too. Listen, it's not going to work if it doesn't have harmful chemicals.
I'm
That's
sorry.
something we know.
I think that might be true.
That's true.
I think it might be true.
You know, whenever somebody gets you a spray bottle of like cleaner and it has like a gorilla on it or whatever, it's like this shit isn't gonna work. All right, it's gonna make shit sticky. That's all it's gonna do.
I'm that bitch that
Yeah.
like buys these fucking products that like are clean products, and then I'm like, then the reality
Yeah.
sets in, and I'm like, you know what? I need harmful chemicals. I'm a dirty person. I'm a filthy person, and I need the poison.
This is like such intense capitalist OCD where
Yes.
it engenders it in us
Yes.
too, where we're like, no, it has to be so pure and so scrubbed,
Yes.
right? That we can only use this product.
Why
right?
doesn't it smell like pine?
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Because pine doesn't smell like that. You've never smelled pine. Those are carcinogens.
Exactly. Why doesn't it smell like cancer?
That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's like I need to do bong hits of microplastics. You know, that's what it is. Like if I'm not getting a lung full of microplastics with any cleaning product, I'm like, hey, this doesn't work.
Sorry, bong hits of microplastics is amazing. If we had an indie band, that'd be a great.
That would be it.
song for us. That's good. That was a good cancellation.
That was a pretty good cancellation.
and it also, we should do an episode about personal care products and all the endocrine disruptors and stuff.
oh
that are
yes,
in
we
them.
should. We can
And
have some
we
really
could
great
have-
guests for that.
We could have
My
Flower,
girlfriend.
yeah.
We could have Flowey on, or we could have her mentor at Columbia, who was the one who led the study.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I keep forgetting that it wasn't just like her that did everything.
That would actually, she was a big part of the study.
was a big
and
part of the
I think
study.
she's. I don't want to actually speak out of turn in terms of who's authoring the paper,
But she's like mad smart.
yeah,
She likes science.
she's like a science smart person.
She's science smart.
Yeah. Why is she with me again? I don't know. I
I don't
really don't know.
I know you better be eating that shit. I know you better be
Yeah, I know. I do.
several times a day.
Listen,
Several, because you don't have money.
it's true. And I do stuff like wear the focus ball headband.
Exactly. Which immediately dries
No,
any
but you know what?
woman
She's
up.
so straight that she likes it. She'll put it on sometimes and start like going at it. With
That
it.
is actually very
And she's
straight.
actually better at it than me because she's been like a yogi for 12 years.
right,
And
yeah.
her drishti, her focus is so intense,
Yeah.
her gaze, that
Yeah.
she's just fucking killing it with it. She could whip my ass real talk.
Absolutely.
Like she's pretty tough.
If you guys have kids, I hope they get all of her and then your ass.
Okay, I mean, should I just start doing this podcast ass first? Ass into the mic first?
You got to get back the early Mango Bay ass.
But you
in
know
order
what?
to do
You're
that.
right. That's fair.
Early Mango Bay ass.
That's fair. Early Mango Bay ass was popping.
He
dude.
really looked like Megan Thee Stallion. You really
I
did.
did.
It was like Usama was sitting next to Megan Thee Stallion every single episode. And you had the hair too. So you had like the 40-inch bust down every
No, it's okay. I like
Okay.
it.
That's funny. So our topic today. Should we move on to our topic?
Let's get into our topic today.
Our topic today is kind of heavy.
It's fucking heavy as shit because of what's been happening now in New York City. We're talking about homelessness
yes.
or
Unhoused
unhousedness.
people. Yeah.
Now, there is one thing that I do have to bring up, which is I do not understand
Speak it.
this thing, and I understand there's stigmas attached to language and so on, but
Speak it.
I don't understand this thing of being like, no, don't say homeless, it's unhoused.
Mhm.
Because all you're doing, what? A suffix isn't as good as a prefix? Like, what is the?
It's just moving the goalpost.
Is it though? Is it even moving the goalpost, or is
It's
it just
because-
changing the color of the goalpost?
Well, because there's so much stigma associated to the word homeless. That's why we changed homeless from like hobo, and
Right.
the hobo from like bum,
Right.
and like we've just changed the words and not changed the not come to the basic solution of the word. Homelessness is the one problem that has the solution in its name.
I know it truly does. The solution is embedded right there in the problem.
It's so easy
It really is.
to find. I wonder what would fix homelessness. Homes?
How about homelessness?
That's not it. It must be cops. We should give more money to cops.
Exactly.
That'll do it. It's the dumbest. It is always it's one of those things that like I don't know. I have not been formally diagnosed with autism, but certain things I know there's an injustice.
Your knowledge of K-pop qualifies you.
There's way more about me that is extremely
yeah, I know,
autistic.
I know, but that's the first tip off.
That's a
for me.
big tip off,
Yeah.
but also like my hand flapping, which I
Oh yeah.
the
You are
hand
a wrist
flapping,
flapper, yeah.
I am. My mother tried to put the kibosh on that, and
Yeah.
I like mostly do it when I'm comfortable. And I did it on the first episode.
That's like the autistic people's twerking. You know what I mean? They'd be going like this.
It's not okay.
It's okay.
That's not okay.
It's fine.
But I also twerk as like a certain like I twerk when I'm like doing something, I'll just twerk.
Do you twerk when you're nervous?
Yes, it's my like stim. It's my stim. It's my stim. I'll twerk when I'm laying down. Like if I'm laying on my stomach, I immediately start moving my ass. Like it's a stim. It's a stim.
Well, I move my butt when I lay on my stomach. Yeah.
I bet
I'm a
you're-
fidgety person though.
So-
I'm a leg shaker.
Yes,
know.
you might. I honestly believe the spectrum is a circle, and there's a bunch of people who are in different points on it.
I know, but it comes a point then where all of it becomes meaningless though, too, right? On the level of language.
Does it become meaningless, or is it that we have to recognize that society isn't structured in a way that is helpful or beneficial to most people?
100%. But to me, that's an interplay between language and society. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or social activity. I
Yes,
guess you
for
should
sure.
say, right? So, I mean, we're talking about this whole thing of unhoused versus homeless. We're kind of coming back to our first episode conversation about the R word, right? Where
Yes.
just changing it to unhoused isn't gonna make. It's like saying these fucking unhoused people. That doesn't make it any better,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
You looking all unhoused there. Like,
Yeah.
it's still, you know what I mean? So it never, language, this is my opinion, language never fully solves a problem.
Yes.
Language is always an indicator, and it's a cosmetic first line of things, which does have meaning and is
Yes.
important,
but
but it
isn't-
never solves the problem.
That's right. That's right.
I do understand people who think it does, though, because language is thought, and it
Yes.
is a way of changing thought.
Yes,
So.
and I think it's part of the of fixing the problem. I think we can start with the words if we want,
Yeah.
but then we need to actually start treating people differently.
Yeah.
And it's you know what, I have a theory about homelessness itself. Like I have a theory about the way people view homelessness. I think people are afraid of being homeless. That's like people because we are all
definitely.
one fucking disaster, one missed
100%.
paycheck,
100%.
what from being out on the fucking streets.
Uh-huh.
We all are. All working class people, the whole point
Yes.
is that you are at least a few paychecks away from homelessness.
Yes.
You have to work to keep yourself from dying on the
Exactly.
street.
You have to be on that hamster wheel.
That's right.
Or you will die.
Or you will die.
You
And
know.
when you see a homeless person, it is you live your life as though that's not the reality.
Yeah.
You go out, you shop, you buy things, you talk to people as
Yeah.
though that is not the reality, that you are not a few paychecks away from a crisis. And then you see someone who is experiencing the very thing you fear, and I think that discomfort either inspires people to feel sad, guilty,
Mhm.
they feel a sense of injustice, or they skip past that immediately because there's no easy fix for this.
Right.
And they skip past that immediately and they go straight to anger
Yes.
and they go straight to fear.
Yes. Yes, they do. It's a very complicated resentment
Yes.
that is engendered
Yes.
within us.
Why
And-
have you reminded me of this?
Huh?
No, I mean, like that's what
Yes,
they- people,
yes,
not
exactly. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
You're like, why are you reminding me of this? That is such a perfect encapsulation, if
Yeah.
you ask me. Now we have a situation now this week specifically where these questions are really should be coming to the fore.
you. Not just this week. We've been having like months of
Oh,
this stuff.
I mean,
in
listen,
San
since the
Francisco.
oh my
too.
God!
Yeah.
Listen, 100%. But here in New York City,
Oof.
where we have the case of Jordan Neely,
Yeah.
and this was a kid.
A kid.
This is a kid.
Yes, he was 30, but he was a kid.
Was he? I thought he was like 21.
He was 30.
Okay.
He was 30.
Even so,
Yeah.
even like, dude, there's nothing more heartbreaking to me. Actually, there's nothing more heartbreaking to me than this is a few years ago before the pandemic, before the unhoused situation was as out of control as it was.
Yeah.
Now, I was coming out of a bodega and a 19-year-old kid,
Yeah.
fully fit looking, just a totally, he looked like just a normal kid. This should have been a kid who was out with his friends playing basketball or just hanging out and having fun. And this kid was like, hey, do you have any change?
Yep.
And I fucking broke my heart
Yeah.
that there's a fucking 19-year-old, perfectly able-bodied kid who had to resort to that.
Listen.
And that is not laziness.
No,
you know what I
no,
mean?
someone dropped the fucking ball.
It's not that. That's the whole thing. Is like none of this shit is ever about.
That's
them.
right. That's a big thing.
You know?
That's a big. That goes into the thing. The assumption of laziness being
Right.
the cause, because it's like, well, I'm not lazy.
It goes into that immediate knee-jerk resentment feeling thing that we were just talking about, where it becomes an easy thing to put on it of like, hey, lazy. It's
Yeah.
not that, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can we talk about Jordan Neely's
Yes,
background?
please.
So with Jordan Neely, oh shit, fuck. With Jordan Neely, we might have to just keep going.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Connor. I lied. Jordan Neely's background, his situation is when he was 14, I believe, his mother was murdered by her
Yes.
partner.
Yep.
And then when he was 18, he had to testify in her trial.
Yep.
And let's just be real, an 18-year-old with no family support. I mean,
Probably not a lot of mental health support.
no
either.
mental. Okay, let's talk about the state of mental health in this country.
Yeah.
Like he has nothing. He has nothing. He could either be locked up. He probably has been locked up in some sort of state institution. Which
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those places I've been in mental health institutions. I know all the commenters are like, I know that fucking dumb crazy bitch. I know, but I have been in mental health.
I had you committed.
That's right. Oh God, I wish you got that kind of money. You know how expensive it is. They never have beds. I've been in mental health hospitals like a few different times throughout my life, particularly in my childhood. And when I tell you, those places are rife for abuse.
Oh, definitely.
Like I've been traumatized by being in the hospital.
It makes you crazier.
It makes you crazy. I have seen like nurses, and I'm sorry, like I know there are people who are dedicated mental health nurses, and I've been with some of them. But there are very few.
Wait, you mean sexually?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, those weren't the good ones.
Yeah.
Yes. When I say abuse, I mean abuse.
Oh God.
Like they are beating these children. They are throwing. I've seen someone throw a child, break his arm, and then tell his parents that he did it.
Right.
And like
So it's gaslighting.
Yes.
Probably a lot of medication.
Oh, for sure.
Misdiagnoses.
These kids are drooling.
Abuse of
some
medication.
them. Yes, they're just.
You know what's so crazy, and I've never heard anybody say this, but I feel like mental health and mental health institutions, it's very similar to prison.
Yes.
And that when you go in, there's a whole cliche about prison where it's like, that's just criminal university, right? Where you're learning to become a better criminal.
Yes.
When you go into mental health institutions, all it does is make you less mentally healthy.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. So I used to go to like St. Vincent's a few times whenever I used to just like have a little suicide attempt every once in a while when I was a kid before they fixed my medication. And so when I was like 16, they sent me to a hospital called Holliswood, which is now closed. Thank Jesus. And that experience was so much like Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
You have no idea. It was crazy. And
You mean you fell in love and found your way through the system and
was
finally found acceptance?
I mean, I
and
did get fingered, but
learned
that's
about yourself.
but it was like literally I was being like bullied by what I would say were guards. They were not counselors.
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
supposed to be counselors. They would threaten you with like a PRN, which is just like a shot in the ass to like knock you out.
Yeah.
I was threatened with physical violence by a counselor. I'm 16 years old.
That's
She
fucking
beefing
crazy.
with me. I'm 16 years old, just committed suicide. Just attempted suicide. And you're beefing with me? Like, it was a whole thing.
So nuts.
And then I watched Orange is the New Black, and I watched a lot of prison documentaries, and I was like, oh, wait, literally the way they do their system is exactly the same. Like,
right. 100%. Dude.
like you're not getting sunlight. It's even not even as good because you're not getting sunlight.
You're not getting sunlight. Yeah, you don't get the rec time and
You don't
stuff
get-
like that. It's not good. And like the thing about it, which is even more pernicious than the penal system, than the traditional penal system, is that like it's so bizarre to put somebody who has schizophrenia in the same space as if they're the exact same as somebody who maybe is just manic, right? A manic depressive person, who is with somebody who whatever, you know what I mean?
Major depressive
Right,
disorder.
yeah, who's just had a nervous breakdown from some kind of traumatic incident.
Yes,
It's
which is most of the kids that are in almost every single kid I talked to in all my hospital time, they all had some deep trauma. You don't think Jordan Neely had some deep,
dude? I mean, we just talked about it.
Well, besides that.
Of course.
Besides that, are you like that is just the culmination of some other trauma that I'm sure he's experienced.
Right.
And then do you think that he was probably dropped off in one of those little hospitals and it made it worse? And then somehow he was able to carve out like a little niche and a little life for himself as like a Michael Jackson impersonator doing dances or whatever.
Right.
And oh my God, wait, sorry. Did you see that video that somebody reposted of him recently?
What was it?
So they posted it like completely out of context, and it's Jordan Neely yelling at this guy and like call him the F word and be like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why are you da, 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 da? And everyone's like, oh, he was crazy, he was dangerous.
Yeah.
The beginning part of the video is this guy just harassing Jordan Neely.
Okay, I didn't see that.
This guy with a camera just being like, oh, Michael Jackson, doing all these like Michael Jackson molestation jokes. This guy, like, you know, he dedicated his life to Michael Jackson. And
well,
then-
he's also mentally ill.
and he's mentally ill and he's on the street. Like, let's why for entertainment now
Yeah.
you've harassed this person. So he keeps harassing on camera, on purpose.
Yeah.
No, fuck you, Michael Jackson. Michael, you like the dark skins, blah 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 blah. And he immediately goes like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, stupid thing on your shirt?"
Yeah.
Like, and no, it doesn't make it okay that he said the F word or whatever. But like, also, he didn't deserve to die.
No, he didn't.
He didn't deserve
But
to be
I want to
murdered.
say this. Here's one thing I want to say, and we can all talk about Danny Penny, the Marine guy who
Fuck that guy. He
who
should be in
strangled him.
prison.
Well, there was 3 or 4 other people
That's
also restraining
absolutely
him.
yes.
And they were, from
They
what
are
I saw in the
culpable as
video,
well.
there were also multiple races.
Yes.
Okay.
The one thing we can all come together on
Yeah.
is that homeless people and people with mental illnesses do not deserve to live.
Right. Right. This is exactly the thing. Right. Well, here's the problem for me right now. Right. And is I'm seeing all the protests right now, and it's also focused on charging one guy with murder.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
fine,
We
do
want
that. Get to
carceral
the bottom of
justice.
that.
Yeah.
But that to me is nothing more than just lynch mob bullshit.
That's right.
Everybody in this city is culpable for that kid's death.
Yes.
That is the way I
Yes.
feel about it. And that's what's so depressing about the protests, because they're not like, hey, affordable housing rights, mental health. Like, what are we doing with allocation of funds in this city?
Thank you.
Why is the homeless situation so out of control
Thank you.
here?
Yes.
Why is the public health and public mental health situation so out? Nobody is out there
Nope.
protesting those things.
That's right.
Instead, it's an easy thing that a lot of narcissists can get together and talk about, right? And be like, oh, white guy, this, that. Fine, we can talk about that. And there is an issue there. And
For sure.
I'm not trying to erase that as a possible issue at
For sure.
all.
Yeah.
But the fact is that we're all culpable in this kid's death.
Yes.
Okay. Every single one of us in this city.
Yes.
And I want to actually share something very briefly. I live in Bed-Stuy. I've lived here for now 12 years, 13 years. I'm a native. Just kidding.
I hate you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But post-pandemic, a huge explosion of unhoused populations around here, right? And I had ordered a vacuum cleaner. First of all, there was a woman, homeless, camping just on the stoop. You know, that's frustrating in a level, just in that, okay, my path is obstructed. Oh, boo-hoo. Whatever though. You know what I mean? Nobody's hurting anybody, and they were very polite. But then packages started getting stolen, right? I ordered a really expensive vacuum cleaner, and it fucking got stolen. And my neighbor
Vacuum
told me,
cleaners are so expensive.
my neighbor was like, dude, it was this woman and her husband or whatever. They took packages. I saw them taking packages. And I was like, fuck. So I got really upset with this woman. And because I was normally really polite and just like, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And one time I was like, I read her. I didn't read her actually, but I was just like,
Actually,
why?
bitch?
I was like, bitch ass bitch. I was like, why'd you steal my, people saw you doing it, and she got upset, and then I felt fucking horrible about it.
Yeah.
Right? But I was just like,
That vacuum
shit.
cleaner fed her for like 3
But
weeks.
I doubt it. But I'm like, where does somebody fence a vacuum cleaner at the bodega? Like, but I don't. But the fact is,
I
like,
probably would have bought that back.
probably, yeah. But I was just like, fuck. I immediately was just like, shit, man, because I'm a confrontational person, but I don't like being a confrontational. I have mixed feelings about that. So I just felt so fucking shit about it.
Yeah.
That I was just like, hey, I didn't know what to say to her though, because she probably did steal
She
it.
stole your fucking vacuum. No,
You
you can be
know?
mad at a bitch for stealing
But
your
here's
vacuum cleaner.
actually the upshot about it.
Okay.
Is that she probably did steal it. She denied it, and I was like, whatever. But I was like, I shouldn't have spoken to you like that, and I'm really sorry. And I hope you accept my apology. And she was like, I'm not homeless. She was like, my husband just doesn't like staying in our apartment. And this is what she said. I don't think
not
it's
true.
true,
not true.
obviously. But what I did learn is she was like, I used to live in this building over here. It's the next building over. And she was like, this was basically the only place that she felt at home. It was just like the familiar place that she knew. And that's where she stayed. And I thought that was really telling. And I don't know actually how to fully unpack that as a data point for me. Right. Yeah. But it was like, it's we're all homing pigeons as human beings, right? We always go to a place that we need of comfort. And there's a person who is struggling, who is like going through it. And I didn't know what to do with it. All I could think about was myself and something that had been taken from me. And I'm not rich, obviously. and you have a package stolen. Nobody wants that, right?
Yeah.
So I had to deal with the fact that, okay, it's okay for me to be upset about that, but how do I approach that? And I still don't know. And she had moved along. And then there was another guy who was just kind of outside the building. And I was able to at least learn from that moment a little bit from that previous one, where this guy was now out there, and with him, and I started to talk to friends of mine who were involved in housing activism about it, because I was like, well, what is the response that I should be having? What should I do about this? And they were like, here's X, Y, and Z. And so the next guy who came along, I did X, Y, and Z, which was I gave him the number and the location of the closest shelter. I gave him some money. I gave him a Metro card, and I gave him some pizza that I had.
That's good.
And I was just like, hey, you know, I hope you're doing okay. Just here's, if you do want some kind of help about this. And he was like, thank you so much. And he went. And then the next time I saw this guy, I'd seen him around a little bit here and there. And he was always just like, hey, how are you, man? It's so great seeing you, bro. Thank you. And it always breaks my heart because I gave so little. And to him, it meant the world. But the last time I saw him, he was outside here sucking someone's dick. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say he was stealing your vacuum cleaner. I thought he was pushing your vacuum
jerking
cleaner.
Off on my vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
My steam up. But no, you know what? He was wearing a hard hat. And he was smoking a cigarette, and he was working on a construction site.
That's
over here.
amazing.
And he was like, man, he's like, I got a job. I'm working here. I was so happy. I almost started crying, dude.
Yeah, you did that.
Like, I didn't do that. But, you know, like, I was like, but you know what? What I loved is that he came to me. He's like, man, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it was such a nice human interaction to have. And
Yes.
of course, it's tingling my vanity as a bourgeois individual.
Yeah.
Right? To be like, look at me. Lesson learned. Check out my arc, everybody.
Yes.
But it was important for me to learn
Yes.
how to get past that resentment.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that is a thing. And I don't blame people for that, because it is a terrifying thing to behold.
Yes.
Because what does that represent in front of you? That's societal collapse that you're looking at. Right
No.
there.
I love this story, and I think this is beautiful. But and as much as I think I would love to take from this, if a bitch stole my fucking vacuum, I'm not buying her a fucking pizza.
I didn't buy her the
card.
pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you had, maybe she would have also been able to. Maybe you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no. I think that's if we could do that on an actual, like, a macro level,
It's like you can't. It's
we
like,
would solve.
I know. The fact is that it's purely luck that puts me as the guy trying to get into the building and somebody else sitting on the stoop outside.
100%.
Because very few people, I will say, want to be just camping on a stoop.
There's people on the streets. There's people. I used to work at Bedside campaign against hunger, and there were people that came in there. Not everybody who came in there was homeless. In fact, most people who come there are not homeless. They're just struggling. But there were people who were homeless who had multiple degrees,
Right.
who had really big careers,
Hondo.
and like
A lot of MFAs out there.
That's
a lot
right.
of MFAs.
I mean, yeah. No, not that. MFAs,
Kidding.
I expect you
Yeah.
to show up at the fucking food place. That's it. These people had real degrees. These people had like science PhDs and shit like that. Real shit.
Yeah.
They were studying mice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
You're
fucked up.
unhoused. I'm unhoused. You're unhoused. I'm unhoused. You're unhoused. I'm unhoused. It's Meisner, scene one.
So
Set the
stupid.
scene.
That was extremely stupid. I loved it. It was stupid and smart.
You're jacking off in a shoe. I'm jacking off in a shoe. I'm jacking off in a shoe.
I hated Miser. But like there were just the reality is, like, there are people that were far more in a place where you would think they would be fine in a just society, as we keep putting it. They would be fine in a meritocracy. Meritocracy. They would be fine. But the reality is, it's not that, and that's why, like, and then the same thing with mental health issues. Like, you have one mental health issue, you can't go into work, you're fucked, you can't get a reference. Like, that's it. You're on the street, and that's like I have like a personal connection to this. Like, the reality. Oh, sorry. Let me just go back.
Yeah.
So, like, you know about the Reddit threads. I've been
Yeah.
reading some of the Reddit threads
Right.
about Jordan Neely in like on the train, on the F line, kind of having mental health breakdowns
Right.
publicly, and even assaulting people or attempting to assault people.
Yeah.
And
No, he had a record.
he had a
He had a record.
He had a record. Most of his record though was for loitering, for
Right.
homelessness.
There was a variety of things there. There was
for
assaults.
sure.
There was loitering.
assaults. But
'Cause
he
it-
was arrested 48 times, and like 32 of those times were
Yeah.
for just being out in public.
Yeah.
We're just criminalizing homelessness.
Look, here's the thing. I don't know exactly what his record is, but I want to stop you for a second and say that to me, there's no shame in pointing out that maybe this guy had assaults
For
on
sure.
his rap sheet.
Definitely, he did.
But none of that excuses the fact that this is a city that has let somebody like him
Boom.
be having to make his money as a Michael Jackson impersonator on the F line to try and get housing.
But here's the thing, though. Here's also the thing, though.
He's not like a Showtime
No,
kid
no.
on the subway having fun with his friends,
No,
making some
he's-
money dancing.
That's right. Yes.
This
Although
guy-
that was part of it, he had a community of
Right.
of performers, street performers
Yeah.
that were with him. That was like the one time in
Yeah.
his life when he was mentally okay enough to like continue doing this
Right.
as like a real thing. But like the thing is, yes, he was assaulting people, and yes, he was being. But a lot of the thing is criminalized homelessness. A lot of his records are criminalized homelessness. A few of them are genuinely dangerous assaults.
Yeah.
Right? Which happens. We've all seen it happen. Some of us have experienced it. And the reality is, this wasn't going to end well for him no matter what. He had
That's
no
exactly right.
chance in this. There's nothing, we have no support system for people who have mental health issues in this country. We have nothing. We have nothing. The things we have are, if not inadequate, they are traumatizing.
Right.
And they just spit you back out in the street. He would have continued this cycle of being arrested and traumatized,
Yeah.
thrown back on the street with less than he had before, and criminalized for being out in the streets.
Yeah.
Even without the mental health issues.
Right.
So we literally have set up a system where a kid like him, who through no fault of his own,
Right.
is now in a state where he is fucked. There's nothing short of a miracle that can help. Recently, they raised like $30,000 for him or whatever, for his like whatever in his GoFundMe. But guess what? He wasn't gonna make $30,000 if he was alive.
Exactly.
We only do that if they die.
It's exactly.
We
it.
owe and to assuage our own guilt. Let's be real. Where's that money going?
That's all it is.
That's right.
That's all it is.
That's
And
just. Oh, I feel so much better now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
that's
said $50.
exactly
I feel
it.
so much better.
I
done
give
my
him a
part.
slice of pizza.
Yeah.
That's like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's like my
I
vibe.
do the same thing.
But you know, my whole thing is like that's this is the systemic ravages of capitalism,
Yes.
neoliberalism in this country,
Yes.
and this is what's fucked up. And we have all conspired, and everything is circumstances have converged for that moment where that kid got strangled on the train.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Including the kid, including the perpetrator,
Yeah.
who grew up also absorbing
Yes.
certain kinds of media,
Yes.
right? He was a Marine.
Yes.
He's somebody who's conditioned to find valor in violence,
Yes.
right? And I'm not saying that there's nothing valorous about physical courage and stuff like that. I'm a violent person. I think violence has its place in,
Yeah,
in the
for
human
sure.
psyche
I agree.
and all that. But it's like, this is also another kid. You know what I mean? Conditioned by
Yes.
the same exact
Yes.
system.
And probably traumatized by his time in the Marines.
Probably.
Like, you know how often they deal with sexual assault and how often they deal with, you know what I mean? This whole, like literally, yes. Like,
And he's also been taught by the media. He's seeing images on the
Yes.
media of people who are actually maybe bad dudes, perpetrators, going and robbing an immigrant store or something and seeing, oh, this needs to stop.
Yes.
Because police aren't doing their jobs
yeah.
anymore.
Or no, this is community
Then
policing.
this is community policing, right? That's exactly it.
Yes.
And so this guy's thinking like, no, I'm doing the right thing right now. I'm becoming valorous. I'm becoming a hero.
And I'm sorry, a lot of people consider him a hero. A lot of blue check marks on Twitter
Right.
consider that man a
Yeah,
hero.
that's why I stay off Twitter. But yeah.
That's smart. It's smart. This is like a real listen, we've all been in the subway and we've seen somebody having a mental health thing where we're like, I might be in the way,
Yeah.
right? I might get hit, I might get something. And it's terrifying. And now when I'm on the train and I see somebody having a mental health breakdown, I'm also looking at all the white boys and I'm like, are y'all trying to be a hero today?
Well,
Like,
you know what's so
let's-
funny is here's the thing about these guys, right? Here's the thing about those guys is those guys themselves are also then triggered, and they're triggered by their own terror and their own fear,
Absolutely.
right? And that's what leads them into fully diving into a very machismo
Yes.
lifestyle and a way of essentializing the world in this way of like, I can be a hero, I can be valorous, and this is me.
Yes.
It's a way of them being like, I'm not scared now. I'm not
Yes.
scared, even though they are
They
scared.
are scared, and it's okay. I wish we could tell people that it's okay to be,
Right.
especially young boys and men, that it's okay to be scared. And the response to that isn't murder.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, look, here's the thing, and this is probably not is we can talk about this guy, the Marine, and all that stuff.
Yes.
But the fact is that this is something that we are all very
100%.
culpable.
100%. And so are
You
all the
know?
people who and I'm sorry, okay.
Because
I'm
we
being
don't
a
know
bitch.
exactly what transpired yet on that train.
We
don't know.
don't.
We don't yet.
We don't
Right?
know.
But we do know. We do know the conditions that led to that.
Boom.
And nobody, and that's what annoys me right now about all of the grandstanding that's going on both sides.
Yes.
Is that not a single person is being like, where are the public services for mental health in this country? In this city, this is a blue state.
Yes.
Right? This is a blue state. This is a Dem-controlled lib state.
That's your fucking problem.
That's
That's
maybe.
your first fucking problem, because those people don't give a fuck. Democrats don't give a fuck about unhoused people.
No.
They don't give a fuck about you and your mental illness.
Right.
There are Jordan Neelys on the train right now.
Dude,
Like
nonstop.
right now. Nonstop. We
Nonstop.
can't kill every one of
Yeah.
them, but in a lynch. We can't lynch every single one of them.
like the real bigotry that's going on here, people are really trying to do the black and white thing
Yes.
right now, but the real bigotry is about homeless people
Yes.
and non-homeless people.
and the solution is far more than just giving money to a GoFundMe
Right.
and protesting, which protests don't work. Protests don't work. I'm sorry, they don't work. Y'all don't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Protest. The point of protest is for fucking community for coalition building,
Right.
and for making, like, trying to find people who agree with your sentiment so that you can then organize and
Right.
organize a general strike or it's fucking anything,
Something that's actually
something that
disruptive.
makes sense, or,
Yeah.
and not just disruptive, that does something.
Yes,
right,
exactly.
like that actually like solves the
Is
problem.
generative.
It's generative.
Of solutions.
And y'all people just go out in the street and talk.
Yeah. And then look, the minute a politician joins your protest, that's how
That's
you know
no longer a protest.
your movement is fucked.
That's right. The
Okay.
minute AOC puts her arms behind
I know. Oh, fake
the
handcuff.
fake handcuffs, this woman, oh God,
She's
what
such
a
a clown,
disappointment.
dude. She's such a clown.
But I also want to push back on your whole thing about like I think, yes, for sure, some people are doing it to like assuage their guilt, and people are doing it because they are narcissists, and narcissists love these kinds of opportunities. But I think also a huge part of it is that they don't know what the solution is. They've only learned how to deal with these issues in the terms of like Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
That was the only thing that they've had a handle on politically.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing they talk about is Black Lives Matter, and we understand the nature of protesting because an innocent, unarmed Black man was murdered by a white man.
Yeah.
That is a narrative that we're used to, and we can
easily
we can
apprehensible.
yes. And the more complicated discourse is something that we have literally never had. We've never had a meaningful discourse
Never.
about mental health.
Never.
About social safety nets
You're
or
right.
mental health
You're right.
ever. So they don't know how to have this conversation.
You're right.
So that is the reason why they have attached this justice narrative to
You're
it.
right. It's wrong for me to actually say that they're strictly narcissistic. I think there are a bunch of narcissists.
Definitely a
out
bunch
there.
of narcissists out there taking advantage of this.
You're totally right. I think actually what the issue is, and you really hit on it, is that it's the way social activation actually happens.
Yes.
And it's really about in-grouping and out-grouping of people.
Yes.
And people want to be like, no, I'm on the right side of this thing.
Yes.
I'm the good guy on this thing. And
Yes.
thus I have to go and do the good guy thing. And
Yes.
there is a soft narcissism involved with that. And we all have it, right? There's
Yes.
vanity involved.
Of
with
course,
that.
the vanity of us even discussing this and thinking that we can spark an important discourse,
Right.
With our, well, you know what? Shout out to our fucking how many follows we got?
We're doing
86,
all right right
86,
now. We're growing.
Spotify
Listen, yeah.
listeners. Like, let's fucking thank you.
Thank you
Shouts.
guys for tuning in
Thank
with
you,
us.
thank you. We like you.
Well, you know what I will say is nobody is having this specific conversation in a public way that I've ever seen.
I mean, I'm sure the commies are, but who's listening? To
I
them?
mean, public.
I'm kidding.
Public. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm happy we're having it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We can air
Yeah.
things out in a way that is a little bit more complicated than
Because this shit sits on my chest. Like, okay, I'm just gonna get real.
Yeah, it sounded like you said shits on your chest.
That's,
Okay.
you know what?
And
That's actually much more accurate. This whole thing shits on my chest. It shits right on it, and not in a hot, kinky way. Like,
Not the fun Cleveland steamer
Yeah,
way.
no.
which-
It's taking a steaming wet dump all over my
That's
fucking
not
heart.
good.
It's true.
You got to be German to enjoy a chest dumping like that. You know? No, I want to diarrhea one. You know, yeah. I like it a
Where
little
did they
liquidy.
get that?
I thought they're so.
They're fun and weird. They love to travel.
They
They
truly
have
are.
a real social safety net. Guess what? That shit ain't gonna
They
happen
do.
over there.
They do.
They also have a mostly white.
They hand out free butt plugs in Berlin.
Yes, free butt plugs and free tuition.
You get a butt plug
Butt plug
with your tuition.
your free tuition.
It's your college care package from the States.
That's right. That's like, oh, we should have an episode about like countries, that civilized countries.
Okay.
Anyway, I have like anytime things like this happen, I
Germany, the civilized country.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Ugh, couldn't happen to a nicer group of people. They've never done anything bad. Okay, so I personally, like, my father has like severe mental health issues. He has my entire life since before I was born. It's been an on and off thing, but like he is the guy that might go screaming. I've seen it. He's done it in front of me. He's done it in front of one of the kids in my 6th grade class. It was like, you know what I mean? Like he would flip out in public, flip out on the subway, talk about the CIA after him, which, you know what I mean?
He's a Jordan Neely type.
Like he was almost,
Right?
Yes. I mean, he couldn't dance.
Not a Michael Jackson impersonator. More of a Joe Jackson impersonator, really.
But yeah, I mean, yes, and he's also a very big guy. My dad is a big, not huge, like he's like 5'9" or whatever, but he's like a big.
He's fucking huge.
He's bigger than me.
Yeah.
He's like thick and he's older and he has a very basso profundo
Yeah,
voice. And to a lot of people, he would be a very scary black man,
Right.
especially when he's having a mental health breakdown.
Yeah.
I am no contact with my father currently for my own reasons because I have to be the craziest person in my life. I can't handle anybody
This
else.
is like a Bob and Whitney situation. Of like,
Absolutely.
there can be only one.
There
in this
can
house.
only be one severely mentally ill person in this house, and it's me. So I can't, I can't do it. You know what I mean? I can barely handle my own. But like, so when these things happen, like I've always been scared that I'm gonna get the call that he's gone to jail before, he's gone to prison before, he's been charged with manslaughter before, like he's had like bad issues happen to him, but he has always survived. And when these things happen, I immediately think of him, that I'm gonna get the call and what was my last conversation with him and da 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 da. It's so heavy. And there's the helplessness that we might feel about Jordan Neely, that we might feel about the entire situation. Like I have felt that sense of helplessness my entire life since I was a kid. I was the kind of kid that was like, I'm gonna fix this.
Of course. Every kid has that instinct, though.
Yeah, I held
Right?
on to that fantasy for far longer than
That
anybody
is, you
should.
can never blame yourself for that. Because
Yeah.
as a kid, no matter what your parent, you always think you can fix it. I'm one of those kids too.
Yeah.
Who thought I could fix every problem and do da 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 da.
Like
and
really.
always with your parents, right?
That's really what I did. You know what I mean? I really, and I genuinely, I think that's some of the hubris and narcissism of my own. So I felt I was the
That
only
is not.
person.
I'm going to push back there.
Okay.
That is not hubris or narcissism. Okay, what that is the desperation born out of love.
Yes.
That is what that is.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is somebody that you love and you
Yeah.
want them
and
good.
need them,
Yes.
you need this person. I lived with
Yeah.
him for a little while and I needed him.
That is something way more visceral.
Yeah.
That doesn't even have the time to process through the ego.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. But I did believe at some point, like, I can talk him out of his,
Of
you know what I
course.
mean, his states. I can talk him down
Yeah.
and blah, 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 blah. And I couldn't. I almost got myself yoked up trying to talk him down. I was like, oh, that was a mistake. So, like, you know what I mean?
You're there trying to rationalize with Debo.
Literally.
Debo, listen to me. Debo, eye contact. Let's breathe. Let's do box breathing.
This is
Debo.
literally me. Eye contact. Dad, eye contact. He's screaming about the government. Like, I'm absolutely, you know what I mean? I really believed that I could change this.
No.
And so, like, realizing that you can't is the most terrifying. Now you're like, oh, that's just in the hands of America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my father's not going to seek mental health care. He's a black man in America.
Well,
He's not going to tell his secrets to some white man in
Well,
a coat.
listen, you also go to a point where if you're mentally ill, there's a lack of awareness of needing help,
Yes.
right?
Well, he kind of knows, but doesn't know, right?
Right.
He knows when he comes out of those things, he's like, oops.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, whoopsie. Like,
My bad.
He's like, literally, he'll be like,
Oh, you got trauma? Oh, my bad.
Literally, yes. Literally, yes. He like does it. He can't take accountability, of course.
Yeah.
But he's like, all right, I guess you can't tell me the address of your school. Like, and I'm like, yeah, no, I literally cannot.
You're right. That was wrong of me to say there's a lack of it. There is awareness. It's just difficult.
It's difficult to accept that this, because there is nothing you can really do. I mean, there's something that can be done, but it won't be done.
Right.
Like, there is no system that is going to help my father. There was no system that was going to help Jordan Neely. There's no system that was going to help even the victims of who's that tech bro who attacked all those homeless people.
Wait, what?
Oh my God! Remember the
Wait, you mean Mark Zuckerberg?
Basically, it was definitely one of his friends.
You mean the Larry Page, the founder of Google?
I wouldn't
That's
be
who it
surprised.
is.
They're friends with him.
I mean, they are the ones who waged a large-scale assault on the entire population of the Bay Area.
No, it's some crypto bro who is definitely friends with them.
Okay.
It's some crypto guy who was going around like fucking spraying people with bear spray, spraying homeless people with bear spray.
Jesus.
And then he got attacked outside of his home. But the reality is he sprayed a homeless man with bear spray. The homeless man chased his ass down and beat his fucking ass.
That's good.
And they were like, look at the homeless population.
Yeah.
Their violence, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then the same with that guy, the other crypto guy who got murdered. And everybody was like, it's the homeless. And it turned out to be another tech bro.
Oh.
Yes. Like,
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I had only heard the first part. I didn't hear that part of the story.
No. Yes, that's right. They villainized. And then the mayor, what was it, London
Reed.
London Reed came out and was like, all the homeless, they going crazy. It's them. And now it's all coming back to haunt. And they're so it's like a whole thing. It's the whole thing of villainizing these people so that we can feel better about the system that has failed all of us.
Right.
That fails all of us. Yeah, this is a pretty heavy topic. I don't know why
it's a heavy topic. We've peppered it with some laughs here and
we
there.
have tried, yes. Yes.
I don't know what our signing off note for this segment can actually be.
Don't murder people.
Don't murder people.
If you see a murder, try to not help.
Don't hold down the legs.
Don't hold down people's legs. We are not in Guantanamo. Let's care about one another. They don't care about us. The political system does not care about us. They have left us to rot in so many ways. Yeah. But we have to get that. Also, community policing isn't we're the cops now.
Right.
Community policing means speaking to one another and using whatever resources we have at hand to help one another. So, yes, buy a pizza, buy a Metro card, let them contact the nearest homeless shelter that is probably full. Yeah. And, do what you can and recognize that the problem is not going to be solved, not with violence, not with carceral justice, not with any of those things. It needs to be solved with a general strike and taking the resources that we are owed,
right,
and using them
to
help
us.
us.
There are systemic issues that are 100%
seize the means of production.
We need to seize the means of production. But I mean, I think that is the larger point. Is like we can say, oh, jailing this guy is not going to solve the problem, and it's not even it's
not even a little bit,
not even a little bit. And you guys are there. I think people who are that's the issue for them. They're barking up the wrong tree with that. Yeah. Right. In terms of where the energy of protests and stuff should be happening. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be accountability for that guy or anyone else. But
yes, whatever. But there's what are we going to do? We're going to throw him in jail for a little bit. Let's best case scenario.
He's going to come out crazy and homeless then. And
then get choked out and then the cycle begins again.
It's like...
Let's see past what they have told us. Let's have conversations beyond what conversations they've set out for us.
Connor, you should shave your mustache, by the way, bro, because you look like the guy. You do look like
100%. Oh my God,
you're a good-looking guy.
Marine.
You're a good-looking
You're
man.
way better looking than that murderer, and I will
Okay.
tell you that
Well, it's because we know he didn't murder anybody. But yeah.
we don't know that. We don't know any of that. He's run away from his state to come here.
Maybe just go with a full beard for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you know what? Shave it just on the sides, and then you have a nice
Just
little,
a Hitler
little
mustache.
Hitler mustache. Everyone will know that's not that guy.
Or shave the middle part and have it be like Chinese appropriation.
Yes. Yes. Give yourself a Fu Manchu mustache. I can't wait to see you get canceled for that.
All right. Should we move on?
Yes, we should do our last last.
What are you in the
segment.
mood for segment
Let's
wise?
do the capitalism.
You want to do it's
Let's
capitalism? Blame it on capitalism.
Let's blame
Blame it on the capitalism. Okay, let me set my timer.
Okay.
So I'm giving you 30 seconds, was it?
Yes,
it
but I have
was.
to find. I
You
have to do the
find
thing first.
Find the thing first.
Okay. Okay.
What's the topic? What's the topic?
Okay, I get it. It's big butts.
Big butts.
It's big butts. And
Starting
yes.
now, 30 seconds. Blame it on the cat. I can't. there's no
Okay,
syllable,
it's fine.
I
I can do
that.
it. I can do it now.
You got it?
I got
That's
it
10
now.
seconds. You sure?
Yeah, I'm
You got,
listen.
you got 15 seconds
I
left.
have already thought about this.
All right, let's go.
I thought about this before
All
I
right,
saw it.
blaming big butts on capitalism. Go.
Ding. Okay, so first of all, the whole big butt phenomenon is the big butt as a mainstream beauty ideal. First of all, any beauty ideals are a direct result of capitalism, are a machinery of capitalism
Okay.
and the direct result of capitalism. Also, let's just be real. The whole big butt thing is a sort of a recent phenomenon as a mainstream beauty standard. It was mostly a beauty standard in Black and Latinx communities, right?
You're straying into identity politics.
I'm
We need to
coming.
stick to
I'm getting
capitalism.
there. I'm
Okay.
getting there. Okay. So, right, we have the whole thing. So, like, let's just use Saartjie Baartman as one example,
Mhm.
right? Saartjie Baartman was kidnapped from her home. She was put in zoos. She was displayed because she had a very large ass.
Okay.
And
But I didn't know who this was, so at first I thought you were talking about like a drag queen or something,
No.
because that's usually your references.
I wish.
But okay,
No.
sorry.
I
Keep
wish.
going.
She had a very tragic life. And
It sounds terrifying.
She had a very,
yeah.
very tragic life. Her genitals were on display.
Oh God,
In
please.
France,
Oh,
in like a museum
horrid.
in like distilled in like a thing in
Yeah.
like solution for many, many years until Nelson Mandela had to go get them and bring them back to South Africa. It's really fucked
That's
up.
so fucked.
It's really fucked up. So like the idea of this being the feminine ideal did not exist until recently. And the reason why it exists as a mainstream phenomenon is because of fucking Brazilian butt lifts, because of surgeons, because of injections, because they are trying to make their money in a way that can only exist under capitalism.
Okay, that's a small ding.
That's not a small thing.
Small ding.
You can only make big butts a mainstream beauty ideal if you can achieve it with money. If you can achieve it with an immense amount of money going to an elective surgery to make your ass fucking fat.
Okay, that's a small ding for me.
Is
Here's
that a
my,
small ding?
Yeah, here's my rejoinder. Not rejoinder, but maybe in support
Okay.
of what you're saying. Here's my contention why big butts are a product of capitalism. Big butts is that beauty standards are always a part of consumer culture.
Yes.
Okay. And that to me is the main culprit of it. So that consumer culture and capitalism needs to
Did I not say that?
hold on,
Okay.
needs to keep replicating
Okay,
over
okay.
and over and over
okay.
again.
Yes.
Right, to generate profit, et cetera,
Yes.
and that's how capital moves.
Yes.
And so they're going to continue. They're going to appropriate anything that they can,
Yes.
in order to continue that cycle.
Yes.
Okay,
That's what I said, bitch.
you kind of said that.
It's because the beauty norms were not.
You were
big
like,
butts.
Dr. Zismore is making a killing on these.
But it is the plastic surgery industry.
Yeah.
Is the like main money maker for not the main money maker, but a big money maker.
Of course, it's a huge moneymaker.
And there can only be a successful
Silicone
moneymaker.
molds. of
That's right.
butts.
If you can make a beauty standard that cannot be achieved any other way,
Mhm.
and giant fucking asses with tiny little waists is something that you can only achieve with surgery, especially in the way that we see it now.
Okay, I think mine was the more elegant explanation.
You know what, bitch?
Beauty standards are a part of consumer culture. Boom. Pranav actually came in. And
You
saved
see
the
how
day on this
cis men
round.
just literally take what you say and be like, it's actually better because I said it and my voice is deeper.
You said cis like it was almost a slur.
I do.
Sids.
I do. You know that's what a turf thing.
What?
Turfs are like, sis is a slur. And I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
you're an idiot.
Okay.
I'm going to call you a slur. I'm going to call you a different slur.
I'm not in on turf discourse really.
Good. Stay off of it.
Yeah,
You already get enough Fox News shit.
I've never what?
You already get enough Fox News shit.
That's true. My algo is pretty corrupted because I watch a lot of fighting.
We'll have an episode.
We're gonna have an episode.
Anyway, this was a heavy episode, but we hope you had fun.
I think it was a fun episode too. Connor, what were your thoughts?
It's a lot of topics thrown around. It was supposed to be a quick segment, and you all took the appropriate time to really flesh it out.
That's
I
true.
love you, Connor.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
That's true.
I love Connor.
I like Connor. I'm liking Connor more and more every day.
Let's triple kiss
Mhm.
on camera for the
For
Patreon.
each
For the
camera,
Patreon. Just for the Patreon.
This was a great convo.
This is
I'm really
great.
happy we could have it.
Yeah, I love you, Opal.
I love you too.
Please please give us some ratings on
Yeah,
Spotify.
do all the clicking for us, the likes, the sharing,
give
the
us
subscribing.
the 5 stars on Spotify. We need more. We
Yeah.
need more. We don't have enough to show us.
Yeah.
We love you.
We love you guys. Thank you
Yeah.
for tuning in, and remember to stay
Stay semi woke.
semi woke.